Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today I saw the trailer for Nicolas Cage's next masterpiece, The Surfer, and it seems like the man, the myth, the legend himself is taking his insanity down under. And so, while we wait patiently for the release of what is sure to be the next Citizen Kane, let's pass the time by watching Sora Kuma playing as the Dravidians in red take on the Viper playing as the Britons in yellow. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up the Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. It's been a long day. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. The Dravidians, we've seen them very recently, a civilization that focuses on its infantry. To start with, all of their barracks technologies are half price, and all of their infantry units can be upgraded to ignore enemy armor, essentially turning Dravidian infantry into Lithuanian Lechai, which is great news for their unique unit, the Urumi Swordsman. This is a medium infantry unit that gets a massive charge attack, and by the way, that charge attack does trample damage. That to support its infantry on the field of battle, all of their siege units cost a third less wood. Their cavalry also benefit from the upgrade I just mentioned, whereby they ignore armor, although before you get too excited about that, Dravidian cavalry, absolutely garbage. Their skirmishers, their elephant archers both attack 25% faster, and as we've seen, their elephants can be upgraded to regenerate HP. Now to support its military, their fishermen carry extra seafood, not exactly something I'm expecting to see on this very dry, non-water map. And every time you go up in age as the Dravidians, you do get 200 wood for free, which does help in the early stages of the game when villager allocation management is super essential, or maybe in the middle to late stages of the game when you want to train some of those discounted siege units. Sora Kuma getting food whatever manner or way he can. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the top left of our screen, so when our Dravidian goes up to the next stage, hopefully we get to see that 200 free wood get added to the bankroll. It's I guess like winning 3 lottery tickets in this game if we are lucky enough for this game to go into Imperial. Now let's take a look at the Viper playing as the Britons in yellow on the right side of the map, a civilization built around supporting its ranged units. Their archery ranges work 10% faster. Their foot archers, except for those poor skirmishers, which always seem to be left out of these things, get free extra range in Castle and then even more range in Imperial. And if that's not enough range for you, all of their foot archers can be upgraded to get even more. You got it, range. Now all of this vitamin R is fantastic news for their unique unit, the Longwoman. This is a pretty decent foot archer that comes with a massive 12 whole tiles of range when fully upgraded. Now, Briton Trebs are also some of the most powerful in the game because they can be upgraded as well. But in this case, to do I was going to say trample damage, I guess it's kind of true, blast damage, and have 100% accuracy against stationary units. Now, the Britons, to support their war machine, their town centers do cost 50% less wood, and their shepherds, which we're watching in action right now, do work 25% faster. Although the Viper abandoning Bessie the sheep and going for the very aggressive wild animal, getting it, killing it, eating it, and growing his population. So those are the two civs we've got. What is going on here in the back? In front of us. Okay, so of course I said we're not going to see any water on this map as I was talking about the Dravidians and their fisherman bonus. And of course, basically 6 minutes later, the Viper proves me wrong by already having a dock to the back of his base. Sora Kuma, spawning kind of in the middle of the map, doesn't really have a back to his base. Viper, by the way, discovering where his opponent is. Let's remove the fog of war and see where there's additional water. We've got 1 lake to the back. Not something we usually do on Arabia. Well, it looks like there's just 1 more lake here to the north. Okay. Not too close to the Dravidian base. So Sora Kuma, a little screwed Akuma here in terms of where the water is. But let's take a look. Maybe there's other advantages to his base. Primary gold off to the side. By the way, let's before we even get into that, let's take a look at the attack path. Pretty darn open. The usual relic in the center, the usual hills, the usual wolf for wild, dangerous animals. And Sora Kuma is now heading across the map to discover where his opponent is. Will run into a wall off in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, I should have said 1 a little bit earlier. Excuse me for the glaring oversight. So yeah, let's take a look. Sora Kuma's forward position completely open. Primary stone exposed on the attack path. Primary gold nice and secure to the back, as is a few additional resources, gold and stone, and a relic, and a whole bunch of wood, which is real nice for him. Whereas his 3rd gold up top to the right. But unfortunately, the north, the east, which is on the attack path, completely open for him. The Viper already beginning to wall off as we saw the rear of the base to protect that precious, precious English fishing fleet. Were the English known for their fishing fleet? I know they were known for their navy, but not too sure they were known for their fishing fleet. In any event, the Viper, forward portion of his base also open. Gold very much to the front, stone a little bit off to the side as he pushes one more deer. Berries to the north, extra stone in the front, extra gold to the back, and both extra golds are to the back, the second and the third. Sora Kuma, by the way, has not explored this part. Why the hell would he? Who would even think that there's a fishing industry going up at the 9-minute mark of the game for our Briton, especially since he's seen absolutely no water on this map on his side, since, like I said, he got a little bit shafted when it comes to that aspect of the game. Forest's not very big, pretty thin. The Viper using his rear forest as part of a wall off, going to the south for his lumber and leaving the more exposed forest in the front. Well, exposed. Sora Kuma running into an irate wolf. By the way, the Viper did start playing this game in the teal color, but when the game started, I was like, this is going to be real hard to see. The minimap is pretty hard on the eyes when a player is teal and the background is green. And so I know there are some Viper fan purists who say, if he's not yellow, I ain't a-watching this video. And so to please them, you know, bread, circuses, and player 4 is what the Viper is all about. And so now everyone should be happy, and hopefully we get to see the units. I mean, you can pretty much see yellow on the map, right? Yeah, it's not too hard to see. Yellow pants, red sash on the shirt, yellow sash on the shirt. Even the helmets, no, the helmets are the same color. All right, well, let's take a look. We saw the Dravidians the other day with the survivalist, the Bloodless game. Man, oh man, can they be a fun civ? They are just such a... You don't really expect it of the Dravidians, since a lot of it is about Woot's steel, ignoring armor. Definitely won't be seeing any cavalry. I mean, now that I say that, watch Sora Kuma pull some kind of surprising cavalry victory out of his ass. But no, I don't expect to see cavalry of any kind. Spearmen chasing spearmen is definitely something I expect to see. I also, by the way, missed Sora Kuma going up to the Feudal Age, but the Dravidians, a pretty versatile civilization. Their barracks techs are half price, which is good because they get all the barracks techs. And for their archery line, they're just basically missing Parthian tactics, which means their foot archers are pretty much on par with many civilizations. Their siege is also amazing. I mean, they're not they don't have siege siege engineers, which means that their units, you know, fire from a little bit too close for comfort. But look at this. We have everything. Siege Onager, heavy scorpion, bomber cannons, and forget the rams. We've got the chunky elephant boys. Ooh, the Viper is chasing. The Viper is chasing. Okay, chasing and should be dying. Ooh, one tinkle away. How much HP? Oh, get out of that, TC. Let us see. I was too slow. I'm sorry. My old man, decrepit hands were too slow to click on that spearman to see how much HP he had. But 2 more spearmen here in the forward position. So Sora Kuma's town center and the villagers inside of it draw first blood by getting the first kill at the 14-minute mark of the game. Both players, I want to say, not really that keen on going up to Castle Age. Sora Kuma's got half the resources. Viper's got almost none of the resources. But Sora Kuma's not really training anything. I mean, I guess that kind of indicates that he is trying to go up. Oh, come on. I said we're not going to get to see cavalry. Of course, he immediately plops a stable down. I mean, wrong call after wrong call after wrong call. At some point, I'm going to have to hang up my caster gloves. Or at the very least, opening some kind of gambling portal where you guys can bet on the exact opposite of what I say happening. Okay, for now, Sora Kuma playing it very close to the vest. He does have the spearman to show away these scouts, the Viper. Okay, finally starting to amass a little bit of economy. His fishing industry is up and running. 6 floating vessels known as fishing ships. Fishing ships, fish and chips. Also a confusing thing, but there you go. I guess the Britons are, you can get some fish and chips there. He's going up to 8 of those, which is not bad. I mean, for an archer civilization, spending the wood on a non-discounted fishing ship, we'll see how that all works out for him. I mean, the food income is fantastic. but the wood expenditure, again, for an archer civilization like the Britons, we'll see whether or not the Viper decides to go cavalry, infantry, archers, whatever the heck he decides to go. We are here for it. And it will be Sora Kuma off the back of 11 fewer economic units who will be hitting the Castle Age first. 34 villagers to 37, but he doesn't know that the Viper has 8, now going up to 9 fishing ships. So he's going to lose another spearman. He does lose another spearman. So the Viper evens up the kill count, gets revenge. A spearman for a spearman leaves the whole world blind, he says. And now he's going to keep trying to penetrate the forward base, the northern base, the southern base. He didn't even bother going to the rear, assuming correctly that it is walled off. And look at the feelers from yellow. He's wondering, where the hell is my opponent? What the hell is going on? His score is down. He must be going up to castle. And the Viper, with that quicker food income, the better food income here with the Navy in the back, is already going to click up. Yeah, there we go. He has not seen this lake just yet. He will discover it with the skirmishers. Or maybe not if the wolf kills the skirmisher. Uh-oh. Okay, don't give up the high ground. You do have minimum range, but the scout comes in. Okay, so the Viper sees more water. But Sora Kuma, 2 extra TCs. Love wedging this right between the gold, the wood. Might have to delete that lumber camp at some point. This one, why such an aggressive? You've got, well, you got really no real place to place it, do you? The way he walled his basin, his stone is out front, his gold is out front. So, okay, now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. So he is going after the wood, and I do apologize for a second time once he hit Castle Age. I did miss that 200 wood. You know, getting 400 wood by the time you're going up to Castle Age is no small thing. That's a good number of upgrades. That's a good number of units. That's even an extra TC's worth of wood if you don't spend the initial. If you're not a spendthrift like me, you know, you get money and it's like sand through your hands. It just falls away. Ooh, Coca-Cola has a new flavor? Well, I'm a dummy. I'm going to try it, even though it all tastes the same. Ooh, this potato chip introduced some new flavor. Oh, I got to try a bag of this. No, no, no. If you save your wood, in this case, your resources, your bankroll, you can spend it quite fantastically. For now, though, a couple of light cav, some spearmen, and monks are out on the field for our Dravidian. Is he going to go after relics? Is he expecting some kind of cavalry push? What is the point of these monks? We will find out in a second. Not exactly the scariest army out of our Dravidian. The Viper, also a second, also a third. Don't, excuse me while I accidentally clicked the house. A second and a third. One to the back with the gold, one to the front with the stone. So again, the Viper's resources, as always seems to be the case when one player spawns in the corner part of the map versus along the edge of the map, the corner always somehow seems to be more advantaged. There's gill nets for that fishing industry, more and more upgrades coming in. Crossbowmen with Bodkin are going to get discovered by the light cav, who should be able to snipe all 3 of these units, these reinforcing units. Okay, maybe not. The Viper turns around, does get one. Okay, well, he went after the slower moving spearman. Sorry, buddy. We couldn't afford a horse for you. And so, unfortunately, you have to die. Kill count 3 apiece, which tells me there were some other deaths off screen. Unfortunately, we'll have caught that in picture-in-picture. I love the secondary wall. Very arena-esque out of Sora Kuma. He does not want these archers to bust their way into here. And to be fair, archers are not going to bust their way into here at all. These are not Saracen units. They do not come with any kind of attack bonus against buildings. Okay, first Vil kill of the game, going to the Viper, who is in Castle Age with Bodkin, which means that these crossbowmen not only have +2, but then add another 1 to it, because they are the Britons, and therefore they have +3 range. 8 tiles of range immediately in Castle Age once you research Bodkin is a pretty tough archer army to go up against. And so what is going on? Oh my god! Look what's hiding inside this archery range. An elephant archer and another elephant archer. I mean, I'm trying not to yell. I'm trying not to shoutcast. But if this game goes the direction of yesterday's game with the elephant archers, spoiler alert. Okay, we are in for a fun treat. Because as powerful as range is for the Briton, you know what's even better? 230 HP of absolute chunk. And now the Viper is stuck literally between a rock and an elephant's hard place. That being said, he's managed to get, pardon me, 4 villager kills so far. Might get a 5th. If he targets, no, he's going after the elephant. And this isn't your average elephant. More are popping out from the archery range on the left. This is the Dravidian one that fires 25% faster. Houses are up. The Viper gets vipered. And this entire... Oh my, he gets vipered again. So Kuma, though, leaves a little bit of an alley. He's trying to block with the villager. But that just means certain death. 2 more vills added. 8 total kills. 9 total kills. And the Viper is making every stutter step count here. Every bow. Every arrow. Every nut and bolt in these crossbows is going towards killing villagers. He's gotten a dozen. Holy moly. Not only was he ahead anyway in villagers, but he just absolutely destroyed Sora Kuma's economy. He's up 18 villagers. He's placing, okay, not exactly the greatest castle to capitalize on this damage, but you know what? Elephant archers, as powerful and chunky as they are not the fastest units, and so building a castle over here is pretty darn safe. The Viper is not exactly one to take unwarranted risks, I guess is what I'm trying to say. By the time this elephant gets here, it will be way too late to deny this castle. It will probably be at 70% by the time he crosses its line. Yeah, exactly. And now there's nothing Sora Kuma can do but go backwards, not forwards. Mangonels are out, although Mangonel's okay. We'll see what they can do. How many fishing ships are we working with here, by the way? 11 fishing ships. Okay, Mangonel gets a kill. Elephant archers get the other skirmisher. And the Viper's going longbowman. Let's see the battle between Chunk and HP versus... what's the opposite of Chunk? Ozempic? Longbowman? 35 HP, but 12 potential range. They both, I believe, when fully upgraded, attack on an 11, which means they attack the same. One has 2 base pierce armor, one has no pierce armor whatsoever. Another castle going up for our Briton here with 11 villagers on stone. There's Yeoman. So in addition to the +1 range he's going to have in Castle Age for free, here comes another +1 range. Will these elephants be able to get a villager kill? Will they be able to get anything done here? 3 very unlucky longwomen are tasked with pushing this push back. Not too sure how long they can survive, but doesn't matter. One gets converted. Mangonel, elephant archers, monks. All these 4 units are the unluckiest bastards in the entire game. Let's see if they can pick off a monk or 2. Not exactly Bengali monks with extra armor here. Okay, a few conversions, a few murders, a few kills. The monk dies as well. Viper's got 1 monk. Sora Kuma's got 3. Converted elephant falls. Okay, so we got not exactly super duper high stakes here. But the Viper, he's going to have to get something done because these elephants, again, with this much HP, these units, as injured as they are, as long as they've been out on the battlefield, still have 755 HP. Isn't that ridiculous? The Viper's entire army has a third of that. Sora Kuma, with his town center to the back, is going up to the final age. I'm going to try to catch where that 200 extra wood goes. Meanwhile, his 4th town center, placed exposed to the elements, is being taken down by the high ground castle. Elephants are being chased away. They are moving very slowly. To be fair, the Viper's army isn't exactly the fastest army. Oh no! The worst thing that can possibly happen here. The wolf begins his chase. Elephants have to turn around, deal with that wolf. Will the TC fall? Will he decide to repair it? Will he just place a mining camp on this side and avoid all of this insanity? Looks like a skirmisher got picked off by longbowmen. But did the Viper chase too far? Now there's skirmishers on the Dravidians' part, and again, they fire 25% faster. Not a 3-second delay, but a 2.4. Ooh, Sora Kuma might not want to take this fight. He is on the low ground. Upgrades 2-1 versus 2-1. The Viper is also heading up to the Imperial Age, and let's keep an eye on that wood count in 16 seconds. Am I the only one that finds this interesting? I don't know. I like civ bonuses in action. 202, 215, 250, 270 becomes 400. Oh, it's so much fun to watch. But Sora Kuma's not spending it just yet. There goes Bracer, not training a single unit, economic or military. Will he discover this castle? He absolutely does. Backs away a 3rd castle. So the Viper is going pure longbow play here. castles and houses. He is planning a major push. Look at his resources. The second he hits Imperial, I'm expecting a slew of upgrades for our Briton in yellow, who, okay. I was going to say, might want to take this water here as well, but he has already done so. 3, 2, 1, we're going siege elephants. Now, one of the weaknesses of the Britons is their ability to deal with heavy siege units. There's Yeoman, there's Two-Man Saw, there's Bracer. He still has a good amount of resources. Where's the elite longbowman? Where's everything else? So let's see what's going on. The Viper is hugging the Dravidian base to the north. He's got a single monk to the south looking for relics. For now, it's 3 to 1 for our Dravidian, whose Viper has not seen the relic to the back. Sora Kuma has not seen the relic to the back, so neither player has seen that relic, which is kind of sour for both players. And in come the siege elephants. Look at how beautiful this unit is with that armor, that headdress, all of it. Unfortunately, it is fighting uphill. I wonder why pro players, instead of here, don't just take a few seconds and move their units onto equal ground and at least do some damage. Equal damage. Looks like Sora Kuma's gotten a castle up just north of here. His Trebs are firing on the Viper's castle that has managed to take down that town center. All of a sudden, action erupting on 2 different fronts. And while the longbows struggle to deal with these elephant archers, as they struggle to deal with all high pierce armor units, these Dravidian units have taken down the Viper's castle. But oh, okay, one goes down, one goes up. More elephant archers are here to the back. Might want to shove them into the castle to heal them, but the elephants, one will fall just a little bit too slow. Viper's count of longbowmen up to 30. He's getting chemistry for them, so they will have the full attack. Not quite yet fully armored, not quite elite. They are on the high ground. They can take out skirmishers at an alarmingly quick rate. And Sora Kuma pivots his Trebs away from attacking the castle. Why did he do that? So he just wants to confuse the Viper here. Now his elephants are moving north. His own castle is the one that falls. He's training 23 skirmishers at once. There it is. There's elite longbowmen. There's conscription. They will be better. They will be trained faster. They have almost all the upgrades. Architecture for the Viper to roid up his castle a little bit. Make it a little bit harder for these elephants to take down even the villagers joining on the party. But they are being one-shotted by these ranged units from the Dravidian. Okay, well, 8 villager kills, 9 villager kills is not bad here for our Dravidian, as well as getting a castle. Will lose the last of his elephant archers if he's not careful to these basic mangonels, which our Briton is training in the Imperial Age. But now all of the heavy hitting units of the Dravidian, I don't want to say are gone, but they're definitely not here. The Treb is here to the south. Another castle. Hey, I like this spot. And so I'm just going to rebuild my infrastructure here right on top of it. Ooh, might want to pack up, might want to pack up, unpack, whatever the hell the word is. I love that the Viper just has basic mangonels. Look at his resources. He can absolutely upgrade these to onagers. What the heck is he spending his resources on? Why does he have 2,000 gold? What is he planning here? What kind of shenanigans does our Briton have in mind? As he continues to pick off unit after unit from not 12. Or pardon me, yes. Oh my goodness. I was going to say not 12, but 11, but actually it is 12 range. And one of the best animations in the game is that arc of longbow arrows. Look at how beautiful it is. Well, at least one of my favorites. Looks like our Dravidian has at least discovered that the Viper has plopped down a bit of a suburb here to the north of his base. The Viper, by the way, adding 2 more castles on the minimap. Where the hell are these elephants going? He hasn't seen the mining camp. Where the hell are these elephants going? This is like that scene from Trains, Planes, and Automobiles where John Candy and Steve Martin. John Candy's listening to like blues music, having a bit too much fun, veers off the highway and goes in the wrong way, and there's a another couple who's driving, yelling at them, "You're going the wrong way, you're going the wrong way." And that is exactly what's happening here as a village party chases these elephants. We'll see where the hell they're going the wrong way entirely. The Viper's infrastructure is up here. More elephant archers in 27 seconds. Elite, why are you engaging now? Why are you engaging now? Oh, okay, so Kuma realizes, hey, I just threw away 2 of my not super duper cheap units. And he lost the upgrade? Okay, whether he lost it or canceled it, I'm not 100% sure. Longwoman is going to tickle away at these gold miners one by one by one. They will fall. Looks like the villagers have called off their pursuit. And we got ourselves a good old-fashioned base trade here, as a Dravidian thinks that the best plan of defense is a half defense, half offense. To be fair, the Viper doesn't really have anything to deal with that except villagers. Although, to be fair, the Dravidian doesn't really have anything to support those elephants except skirmishers. Oh, yeah, basic mangonel's getting the job done here. Now, the Longwoman should be able to take care of business against all of these units. And they cannot retreat. They are not that fast. Okay, looks like a number of elephants fell. This guy just kind of, I don't even know what the hell he's doing. Sora Kuma getting a few more villager kills. So, whose base will fall first? The Viper's not even bothering to defend his base, which means he tells me, which tells me that he thinks he can push this incredibly strongly and incredibly fast. Incredibly strongly. Very strong push is what the Viper thinks he's got here. And to be fair, he's picking off units, but not exactly picking off a lot of infrastructure here. Sora Kuma's base is still pretty much intact. There's a castle to the back and new town center to the south. Meanwhile, the Viper's town center main OG one is under siege. He does have one to the back as well. Let's see what the heck is actually going on. No more relics for our Dravidian, who has lost it to this one trebuchet. Longwomen to the south continue picking away at these elephants. They are now elite. 50 extra HP is not terrible, especially when you've got 6 base armor against an 11 attack. That means 10 more volleys of I guess a single Longwoman, or 10 individual Longwomen. Ooh, the Viper stepped onto the grass. There was a sign that says don't do that. And so you lose 4 Longwomen for nothing. Got more units here taking on these elephants. Sora Kuma just doesn't have the mass that he needs to deal. Once the Longwoman get into a kind of critical mass, and the Viper, oh my god, 86 Longwoman going up to 120. That is critical mass and income reinforcements, 31 of them. And what the hell can our Dravidian do now? Buildings are starting to fall. Units continue to die. To be fair, our Dravidian has discovered... what is this? This is the last town center of the Viper, but he's got to defend it again. And this is where the skirmisher's weakness comes in very not handy, actually. The elephant, will he be able to survive? If he loses this elephant, it is all bad news bears, and it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter as the villagers chase, as the flaming javelins get thrown at them. One last villager remains. Actually, she just died because I can't click on her. And Sora Kuma calls it quits, even though he was potentially about to get the last town center of the Viper while he still has 2 of his. This game could have continued. This could have been one of those annoying games where one of the players just refuses to quit for, 40, 80, 100 minutes while he sneaks a villager into here or into here, and no one can find them. Somebody has to look, but look at the mini-map. The Viper is just everywhere. These Longwomen. Look at this mass. Oh my goodness. 47 Longwomen in one tiny little screen. And even these elephants with their 150 pierce armor, but only 220 HP, are not going to last very long against 66 Longwomen here. And wow, Sora Kuma trying to get up some kind of defense here, relying on the HP of the elephant. Unfortunately, just doesn't get the numbers together. I feel like his army was just a little bit too over here, a little bit too over there, a little bit too everywhere, and spread very thin. And as anyone who likes to eat sandwiches knows, when you spread anything very thin, it doesn't really taste as good as when you put just a giant glob of whatever it is you like: cream cheese, margarine, butter, I don't know what the hell people eat, sauce of any kind, jelly, peanut butter. The more you have, the better. If you spread yourself too thin, this is what happens. The Britons come in, they put up fishing fleets in your waters, and then they take their Longwomen and they basically shaft you from 12 tiles away, or in the case of the Treb, 17 tiles away. And the Viper with the range, the massive Longwomen just picking off unit after unit. Although I suspect he fell into the trap of the longbow which is, even though there's 46 or whatever here, 48, they all fire at the same unit. Yeah, look at that. They're all firing. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, some of them are firing at a second unit. And you do want all of them to fire. But generally, the point that I'm trying to make, even though it's not exactly the greatest example in front of us, is that longbowmen need to be micro. They are a finicky unit. Otherwise, they all will fire at the same unit. And when that happens, really their effectiveness is cut down, because you don't need 47 longbowmen to kill one skirmisher. You really, really do not. Speaking of skirmishers, 120 skirmishers to 170 elite longbows. I mean, this is just bonkers. Peak APM about the beginning of the game, peak APM towards the end of the game for Sora Kuma. So both players sub 200, but pretty good APMs on the whole. Economies, I mean, we just saw you didn't even have to kill those 12 villagers. The Viper was just ahead 18 vills at one point, and look at the disparity in the economy. 20,000, 40% bigger economy, all of the resources going to the Viper. 10,000 more food, a little bit more, 10,000 more wood, a little bit more food. This is the funny part. Only a little bit more food compared to the Dravidian, even though he had those fishing ships. I want to see how many fishing ships he had at the end of the day. To be fair, only 4,000 more gold is, yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're trying to go elephant archers, this should be the opposite. You should have the 13,000 to the 8,400 of your opponent. And here's your longbow play with all of the castles. 3 conversions to 1, 26. I'm surprised it's only 26. It seems like it should have been a little bit higher. And the Viper with almost 100 more kills. That's what happens when you go unique unit versus skirmisher. And they even, to be fair though, 26 elephant archers, not the highest number, but 2 of them still alive, mean 24 of them died. But the kills, mostly skirmishers, 89 villagers towards the end of the game. The Viper just absolutely had his way, completely ragdolling this Dravidian base. No more villagers anyway. And as they try to run, as they try to stand and work and collect an honest day's paycheck, the Viper just comes in and absolutely wrecks them. 20 fishing ships on Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 fishing ships on Arabia. This is a move only the Viper can pull as he takes the 2 soul lakes in the game. And unfortunately, I did Sora Kuma have to resign? I mean, the numbers indicate yes, but the stubborn mule-headed, man in me, so the player, the viewer, the lover of this game says maybe he could have held out with a few more TCs, but he's got no food, he's got no gold, he's got barely any wood, forget about stone. But what do you do as the Dravidians against 93 elite longbows? I guess the answer is you tap out, live to fight another day, and Sora Kuma did exactly that. The Viper takes the W, but GG in a fun arrow-filled game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.